How's it going, everyone? I hope you're doing amazing. Marco Moreno here, and today we're gonna revisit one of the craziest fights in UFC history. I'm talking about Royce Gracie versus Kimo Leopoldo. The year is 1994 and the event is UFC 3. On those early years, everything was allowed. Knee to the groins, headbutts, hair pulling. It had a cage that opened. Just all the ingredients for a legendary match. Without further ado, let's check it out. Here is Royce Gracie. They credit him as a 4th-degree black belt. He beat everybody in the two first events in UFC 1 and 2 and shocked the martial arts world using Jiu-Jitsu. As you can see here, he's training with Helson, and the strategy was very simple. Bring everybody to the ground and apply an arm lock or a chokehold. And here is the legendary Gracie train. This is how the Gracies used to enter the cage. Royce Gracie, you see a kid that's hit on Gracie. Elio Gracie, the father. Helson Gracie, the brother, will be in his corner. Royce Gracie, Carlson Gracie. For Royce Gracie, it wasn't just any fight. It was his family's art, and he had the responsibility to defend the legacy. Here is Kimo. He is in shape, of course, and he has great kicks, great flexibility. As you can see, he's a bigger guy, super muscular. Look at that back. Crazy tattoo. And he has acne on the back, have you seen? So that could tell you that possibly he was on some kind of juice there. Chemotherapy to his opponents. He was an order minister, and his idea was to spread the word of Jesus. And look at this entry. Kimo was carrying a giant cross before entering the octagon. His art is credited as Taekwondo, but he had a good background in wrestling. His coach, Joe Son. Joe Son fought a few MMA matches without success, and throughout the match here you're gonna see him provoking the Gracie family. The referee is a young John McCarthy, and for this event John McCarthy was allowed to stop the match. In the earliest UFC 1 and 2, the referee could not stop the match, only the corner by throwing the towel. The company that owned the UFC was CEG. This was before Zuffa, before Dana White. Royce Gracie is just focused. As you can see here on the background, Helson, he's screaming and exchanging words with Joe Son. There is a lot of things going on in the background. 176 pounds, Royce Gracie. The fight starts. Kimo charges Royce. Royce throw a pisao, and right away got him in the clinch. The strategy for Royce is to take the fight to the ground. Kimo knows this. He's pulling on the jacket and keeping a great base. This is where the door opens. The stuff that you don't see nowadays. 30 seconds. The commentator is saying this is the longest we've seen Royce in his 2 feet. Look at this knee to the groin. Joe Son is on the behind the cage, touching and giving indications. Can you see there? And Joe McCarthy is trying to get him to get off the cage. They have another exchange here on the background. As you can see, Helson comes to kick Joe Son out of the way. Great base by Kimo. Elio Gracie is right behind, and Helson Gracie is on this side. Here he goes, a leg hook, and they end up on the ground. But Kimo has a great move to take Royce back. At this point, Kimo has Royce back, and Royce used the cage to turn it around. So Royce is trying to pull Kimo's arm, as you can see on that side, and that way bump him over. And there it is. This is where Royce wants to be. He goes for... Kimo has a great bridge and roll Royce. Now Royce is on the bottom in the guard. But that is no problem for Royce. That's all what the Gracies know what to do. Fight off their back. But Kimo's pressure is just too much. There is a half guard here, and what the Gracies want to do is to go back to guard, where they can apply their submissions. At this point, you can see Royce grabbing Kimo's hair, so that way he doesn't posture up, but he escaped. And he keeps the hair. Some people will remember this. Royce Gracie holding Kimo's hair and start punching him. Not only he wants to punch him, but he wants to use that in order to set up arm bars or triangles. But Kimo has none of that. Royce is in a battle at this point. Kimo took some damage above his eyes due to these punches from the bottom from Royce. At this point, Royce leaves Kimo's hair, and Kimo is just punching from on top. Royce rolls, they go back on their feet. As you can see, Kimo's eye there is bleeding. Royce has just locked a Kimura, but as they fall off the ground, he lost the Kimura, and then Royce is on the bottom again. He managed to move the hips and lock a armbar. He's got the armbar, but the arm is not fully extended, and then he moves his head out and go belly down. Kimo tap is a very subtle tap, but Joe McCarthy was there and he saw it, and Royce won the match. It was a crazy match. Helson is very concerned. Royce doesn't look good. There you go, see Joe's son provoking the Gracies, and Helio Gracie there also responding. Kimo lost, but he gave him a hell of a fight. Look at Helio. If you guys rewind, Helio is calling Joe's son to fight him. They had to carry Royce off the cage because he couldn't walk on his own. You see there, Helson carrying Royce. After this fight, Royce showed up for his second fight, and right before his next match start, they will throw in the towel. As they throw in the towel, Kimo and his coach jump on the octagon, claiming that they were the ones who defeat the, at that time, invincible Royce Gracie. At the end of this event, the fighter who won was a replacement, a late replacement. His name was Steve Genum, and he won UFC 3. Thank you guys for watching. This was fun for me. If you guys have any suggestions for me to review other matches, I'll be super happy to do it. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and I hope to see you soon.